going to talk about three different pieces. First of all, the message, the market, and the media. Actually, we're going to start with the market. But these three pieces really are kind of the fundamentals of your overall success. In order to really succeed in the coming year, these are the pieces that you need in place. So let's start talking about the market. And if you've ever been on any of my webinars before, you've heard me speak at different places, one of the things I'm always talking about is who is your ideal customer. And the funny thing is, for years, I heard this from other people and that they would say it, and I probably even repeated it and started talking to people about it. And it really didn't start to hit me until probably a year or two ago when Facebook ads really started gaining traction. And you really need to know who your target customer is before you go start throwing money at these ad platforms, right? Because their targeting can be very specific. But if you don't know what you're targeting, if you're just like, well, we sell to everybody or we sell to all small business owners, well, you're going to spend a lot of money to reach those people. If you're more specific and say we only sell to dentists or something like that, you can target those people and become very specific. So it's very important that you start to really define who they are and be very specific about these people and start writing it down. Because if you can really get specific on it, everything you do is going to be so much easier. If you go to write content for your website or a blog article, you can write specifically to that person because you already know that's who you want to attract. So it will automatically attract that person since you're writing it in that particular way. At the same time, if the police officer guy up here is reading this and it doesn't make sense to him, then it's just naturally going to repel the people that you're not wanting to work with as well. So there's kind of a double-edged sword to it in a good way, and it's definitely worth having. So it's really really important. I'll just leave it at that, right? So I actually have a customer profile or avatar worksheet. Some people call it target market. Some people call it avatar. I tend to use the word avatar more than anything, or persona as another one that a lot of people use. And interestingly that I call it avatar, but my link says persona, so that's kind of funny. But you can go to bit.ly/RCM personas. The RCM does need to be in caps. It's case sensitive. But you can get this free worksheet and start to kind of figure out, okay, who is this person? What do we know about them? And start to, if nothing else, maybe pick out a couple of your favorite clients and start to interview them or just fill this out with them in mind. If they're a great client for you, they pay on time, they're married with 2 kids, all that kind of stuff, you'll be able to start kind of filling this out. So some things could be that they're under the demographic section. They're a homeowner, they're 35 to 55. Most of our audience is female, occasionally male, typically married with a couple kids. They make at least 65 grand. They're family oriented, reliable, and likes to please people. So now we can start to get a little bit more specific just about their demographics of each person. At the same time, we can talk about their pains and frustrations. And this really is the big one when it comes to your business. Well, people contact me because their widget isn't working, whatever it is. They can't get somebody to return their call. They're too busy to do it themselves. They're worried about the kid's health or the house getting ruined. Let's say it's a plumber and there's a broken pipe or something like that, right? So you can kind of start to see what are the things that people that call me are having as a pain point. What kind of things are they frustrated about at the current moment, or at least at the time when they have to look my business up and contact me? At the same time, what are their fears and implications? So what happens if they don't end up calling you, or they're worried about, if they don't take care of the widget, right? Well, they could be concerned about being ripped off, overcharged, faulty workmanship, being inconvenienced, lots of different things that people could be worried about, Peggy does book covers, things like that. Are they going to have an ugly cover? Are they not going to be able to get it done? Is it going to be done on time? All these different things that people are worried about when they're just, coming to you or thinking about looking for your business. Lastly, goals and desires. What is the end goal for them? Obviously, they're hoping to get the widget fixed, but we can also talk about things not really related to that particular scenario. So they're also concerned about building more income, having successful kids, traveling. All of these things are things that we can play into and build a really smart, successful avatar out of it. At the end of the day, if you can see Joe Smith through Joe Smith's eyes, you'll know how to sell what Joe Smith buys. You like that? That's my little poem for the day for you guys. There's no charge for the poem, but it's definitely very true. If you can see your customer through their eyes, then you'll be able to, like I said, start creating content around them. You'll be able to give them the right things that they're asking for. You'll be able to draw them, attract them in. So lots of different things in there. So I highly encourage you to get the avatar worksheet and definitely go through that process. And it may be that you have a couple different of these avatars. So most businesses don't just have one. They may have two or three. They may have single moms that buy from them, but they also have older audience that wants to work out twice a week or so. I don't know. Whatever it happens to be, typically you end up with 2 or 3 or 4 different types of profile. I did hear a story one time about Adobe when they get together and have a meeting, let's say about Photoshop. When they get together, especially around usability and things like that of their programs, they say, okay, who are we talking about today? Who is this meeting going to be about? Well, the meeting today is about Ashley. Okay, so everybody knows the meeting, the avatar, everything is around how Ashley uses their product. So I found that pretty interesting to know that it's big companies like that are really using the avatars to their advantage, quite honestly. It's fantastic.